This is section 7-3, Mortgage Application Process. The objectives of this lesson are to compute the monthly cost of paying for a house and to understand the research that is necessary before you purchase a home. Here are some of the key terms in this lesson. Most of them should be pretty self-explanatory to you. There are a few here like front-end ratio, back-end ratio, and a couple others that will be discussed in more detail later on in this lesson. So, what do you need to know about mortgages? Has your family ever needed to file an insurance claim for household damages? Remember, purchasing a house is probably the largest single purchase you'll make in your lifetime. As a result, because of this, you have a need to take and protect that investment that you've made in that house, and that is usually done via homeowners insurance. So think about how homeowners insurance can help you against loss, whether that loss be as a result of weather-related issue or some other thing like fire or other types of damage. That having insurance is vitally important to protect this investment for you. All right, so let's look at example 1. Heather is planning to buy a home. She has some money for a down payment already. She sees a home she would like and computes that she would need to borrow $190,000 from a bank over a 30-year period. The APR is 6.4%. What will be her total interest for the 30 years? Okay. Initially, what we're going to have to do is determine what her monthly payment is going to be for this home. If you remember back earlier this year, we discussed a formula for calculating monthly payment on a loan when you know the principal, the interest rate, and the number of years. So we're going to take and use that formula again to determine what Heather's monthly payment will be if she borrows $190,000 over a 30-year period with an APR of 6.4%. So if you plug in all these numbers and calculate what her monthly payment is, you come out with the fact that her monthly payment based on this loan will be $1,188.46. So that covers principal and interest for this loan to buy this house. Now, she's taking out the loan for 30 years. So 30 years is equivalent to 360 months. So basically, she's going to be making this payment of $1,188.46 for 360 months, or for a total of $427,845.60. So that's going to be the total of all her monthly payments over the 30-year period. So if we take this amount and subtract the amount she borrowed, which was $190,000, we come out with the total interest for the 30 years will be $237,845.60. So a little bit more than what the original principal was. So let's look at the next example. Kevin and Kathy Mackin have a mortgage with National Trust Bank. The bank requires that the Mackins pay their homeowners insurance, property taxes, and mortgage in one monthly payment to the bank. So they want homeowners insurance, they want the property taxes, and they want the actual mortgage payment itself, all in one monthly payment to the bank. Their monthly mortgage payment is $1,233.56. Their semi-annual property tax bill is $5,206. That means every 6 months they have to pay that. And their annual homeowner's insurance bill is $1,080. Now, notice this is for annual. So how much is the monthly payment they make to National Trust? So now we basically have to determine how much they are paying each month for each of these items. So let's first take the monthly insurance bill, all right? They are paying $1,080 per year. So if you divide that by 12, you come out with $90 per month for insurance. Next, there is the property tax bill. Well, that's $5,206 paid twice a year. So if I divide that by 6, I come out with $867.67 per month for their property tax. So if we add these figures together, the $1,233.56, which is their mortgage payment, the $90 for insurance, and the $867.67 for property tax, their monthly payment to the bank is $2,191.23. So moving along to the next example, we see that Tom and Kyra Courtney are considering buying a house and are researching the potential costs. Their adjusted gross income is $135,511. Now this is annual, of course. The monthly mortgage payment for the house they want would be $1,233. The annual property taxes would be $9,400. Notice this is annual. And the homeowner's insurance premium would cost them $876 again per year. Will the bank lend them $190,000 to purchase the house? Well, what the bank often does is use a formula known as the front-end ratio. The front-end ratio basically takes their monthly housing expenses and divides it by their monthly gross income, all right? So monthly housing expenses divided by monthly gross income. And what they are looking for is a value less than or equal to 0.28 or 28%. So if your front-end ratio is less than or equal to 28%, that's housing expenses divided by gross income, then they will agree to lend you the money. So let's look at what their housing expenses are going to be. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the monthly property tax, okay? We know they're spending $9,400 a year. So if we divide that by 12, we come out with $783.33 per month for property tax. Next, we take the monthly homeowner's insurance. They are spending $876 per year. If I divide that by 12, that comes out to be $73 per month for homeowner's insurance. So now that we've figured out the housing expenses, the next thing we're going to look at is their monthly gross income. All right? We know that they are making $135,511 per year in gross income. If we divide that by 12, we come out with their monthly gross income is $11,292.58. So now if we plug in the numbers to the front-end ratio formula of housing expenses in the numerator and gross income in the denominator, we come out with a value of 0.185 or approximately 18.5%. Therefore, the bank will give them the loan because this figure is significantly less than the 28% figure the bank uses as a guideline. So they will be able to get this loan from the bank. All right, let's look at another example. Bill and Terry are considering buying a house and need to figure out what they can afford and what a bank will lend them. Their adjusted gross income is $166,988. Their monthly mortgage payment for the house they want would be $1,544. Their annual property tax would be $9,888, and the homeowner's insurance premium would cost them $1,007 per year. They have a $510 per month car loan, and their average monthly credit card bill is $5,100. Would the bank lend them $210,000 to purchase their house? So for this formula, for this example, we're going to use the back-end ratio formula. The back-end ratio formula simply says you take the total monthly expenses and divide it by the monthly gross income, and it should be less than or equal to 36%. Now, this is all the monthly expenses, not just insurance and taxes. So now we have to convert all their expenses to monthly. So if we take and calculate the monthly insurance, that would be $1,007, which is what it is per year. Divide that by 12, and it comes out to be $84 per month. Next, I'm going to take the property tax and determine what that is on a monthly basis. So if we take the annual property tax of $9,888, divide that by 12, and we come out with $824 per month. So now, to figure out the total monthly expenses, we're going to take their mortgage payment, which is already per month, their car loan payment, which again is already per month, the credit card bill, which again is already per month, and add those three things to the monthly insurance and the monthly property tax. And when you do that, you come out with a total for monthly expenses of $8,062. So we're going to take that $8,062, which is their monthly expenses, and divide that by their monthly gross income. And in order to get that, we have to take the $166,988 and divide that by 12. When we figure that out, we come out with an answer of 0.579, or 57.9% on their back-end ratio. Now, unfortunately, this figure is too high. It is in excess of the 36% which the bank looks at. And as a result, the bank will not lend them the money they want because of the fact that their back-end ratio is simply too high. Finally, let's look at one last example. Chris and Scott Halloran are opening a new restaurant. They take out a 3.9%, 15-year, $300,000 mortgage on the building, but they do not have a lot of money because they are spending what they have to get the business started. Years in the future, they intend to have much more money from the success of the restaurant. Can they get a loan that will fit well with their current and future incomes? How much will they pay in interest for the loan, and what are the monthly payments? So what they are most likely going to end up having to do is to get something referred to as a balloon mortgage, all right? And basically what they will be doing is initially paying only interest monthly. So they'll be doing a monthly interest-only payment. In order to figure out what that is, we're going to take their loan amount, which is $300,000, and divide that by the monthly interest rate. In other words, it's 0.039 over 12. And that comes out to be an interest-only monthly payment of $975 per month. So, remember, what they are doing is they are taking out a 15-year loan. Well, 15 years times 12 comes out to be 180 monthly payments. Now, they are going to be paying interest-only monthly payments for the first 179 months. Well, if they do that, 179 times $975 per month, they come out with $174,525. That is the total interest that they will pay over the life of their loan. But remember, their last monthly payment, that would be payment 180, is going to require them to take and pay the principal, which they borrowed, in full, which is $300,000. So they are paying $975 a month for 179 months, but then their last payment, they're going to have to repay the principal, or $300,000.